Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at noon.
Now at noon, now that the government shutdown is over, we are taking a look at how things are doing at Orlando International Airport. Also ahead, how members on both sides of the political aisle are coming together to help feed those in need in Central Florida. But yes, after a record 43-day shutdown, the government is starting to get back to normal. Last night, 6 House Democrats joined almost all Republicans to support sending the Senate-approved measure to the president's desk. CBS's Natalie Brand has the very latest.
Shutdown-related air travel impacts aren't over quite yet. Airline sources tell CBS News it could take 24 to 48 hours to ramp back up to full service once the FAA lifts its flight reduction at 40 major airports. Still, travelers are breathing a sigh of relief that the weeks-long shutdown is finally over.
It's good that they're back to work. Hopefully things get done.
With everything going back now, so just seeing how things flush out. So we hope all goes well.
More than 670,000 furloughed federal employees are returning to work. 730,000 others worked without pay.
The members that I represent, they are ecstatic. They are happy that the government's open. They can now get back to life. They can get back to business. They can make sure that there's food on the table.
The tens of millions of Americans who rely on federal food assistance should see their full SNAP benefits soon. A USDA spokesperson told CBS News recipients in most states will get their benefits within 24 hours.
That clock started with President Trump's signature on the funding measure late last night, but there's still a fight over Democrats' health care demands, which were not part of the bill.
The Affordable Care Act tax credits expire on December 31st. We have to continue to press our case to compel Republicans to deal with this.
President Trump Wednesday night said he would be willing to work with the other side on health care, but took aim at the Affordable Care Act.
It all includes fixing the health care system that Democrats broke with the disaster known as Obamacare. Obamacare was a disaster from day one.
The Senate deal to end the shutdown included the promise of a vote on health care in early December. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now, again, it could take up to 2 days to ramp up air travel back to normal operations. It just depends when the FAA lifts those flight reductions at 40 major airports across the U.S. Of course, as we've been telling you, Orlando International Airport included in that list, and we have seen plenty of cancellations and delays this week. Orange County community correspondent Tylisa Hampton is live at the airport this noon, taking a look at how flights are looking. Tylisa?
Well, we know that that's that 6% of flight reduction after the government shutdown has ended. The FAA had said that it was originally going to go to 8% today. That's no longer the case. As for how flights are looking, just take a look at the board behind me. So you can still see some red on the board for delays or cancellations, but also just notice something different, because I don't know if you can hear that music going on in the airport, but you can see music right here. You can see some area for dog petting, even rock painting. So for people who have a longer flight today, you might get some stress relief in the airport. So that's something a little bit different. Now, officials with the airport, they did put out a statement today, and they say in part, quote, that they're grateful to all the federal employees who continued their vital work at MCO throughout the government shutdown. Now that it has concluded, we're committed to maintaining a seamless operation and supporting our travelers, end quote. Now, as for things when that will get back to normal, airlines like Delta, they did put out a statement yesterday after the government shutdown ended, and they said that it was going to take them a few days to bring operations back to full capacity, but they look forward to that as they would like to bring customers premium experience for the holiday season. And we know that's on the mind for many travelers here at MCO is how is travel going to look for Thanksgiving? So we'll make sure to stay on top of that. Reporting at MCO, I'm Tylisa Hampton. Back to you.
All right, keep us posted out there. Thank you, Tylisa. Meanwhile, with the government back open, millions of Americans who rely on SNAP benefits are now wondering when they'll get their money. And the answer is hopefully soon. As reported, a USDA spokesperson told CBS News SNAP recipients in most states will get their benefits within 24 hours after the government shutdown ends. DCF, which handles distributing the money here in Florida, hasn't given any updates quite yet. Nearly 3 million people in the state receive SNAP benefits. And as that wait continues, there is a new effort in Orange County to make sure no one goes hungry. Members of both the Democratic and Republican parties are taking part in what's being called Orange County United. Volunteers are collecting non-perishable food, baby items, toiletries, pet food. The list goes on, and it will go to families affected by the shutdown as well as hurricane victims in Jamaica.
This is just people coming together regardless of what political party, but coming together and truly fighting the need. So we're doing a 50-50 split. So the stuff that we collect will stay here locally, and then the other 50% of the perishable items we'll send to Jamaica.
Collections are happening both today and tomorrow at the Silbar Security Warehouse. That's on Jordan Avenue in Orlando. It runs from 9 until 5. You can also drop off items at Sutherland Nissan. That's on East Colonial Drive. New at noon, deputies in Flagler County are investigating an apparent murder-suicide. The sheriff's office says it got a call from a family member for a welfare check at the couple's home on Pine Lynn Lane. That's in Palm Coast. Officials say 85-year-old Julio Alonzo and his wife, 74-year-old Martha Alonzo, were found dead in the bedroom. Deputies believe the husband shot his wife and then shot himself. This is still under investigation. If you or someone you know is in a suicidal crisis, you can reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling or texting the number 988. Now at noon, Orange City police tell us there were multiple attempts to surrender dozens of dogs before animal control was eventually called in to the owner's house last night. Police say more than 40 dogs were found. One, unfortunately, died of natural causes. Officers say the owner told them he tried to surrender the dogs before without success, but with their help, the owner was able to surrender them last night. Orange City police say they're not pursuing animal cruelty charges, but the owner will be cited for having more than 4 dogs and failing to properly register them with the city. We're asking officials for more information on what caused a fire to break out at an apartment complex in Orlando, displacing 7 people. This happened at the Royal Isle Apartments early this morning near Cimarron Boulevard. The Orlando Fire Department says crews found flames shooting out of multiple second-floor windows. Officials say all 7 people made it out, no one was hurt, and the cause is still under investigation. Even more homes could be coming to the booming city of St. Cloud. Today, the city council is set to approve preliminary plans for 2 new subdivisions. One would be built off Narcoossee Road, which is already overtaxed. Your Osceola County community correspondent Stephanie Rodriguez has more on just how many houses could be on the way.
Adding 123 homes between 2 new subdivisions would bring more people and more cars to St. Cloud and to Narcoossee Road, a very busy street that's already incapable of handling the amount of traffic that it gets here. That's a concern many people I spoke to have.
Quit building, get infrastructure, and then maybe that'll alleviate some of the traffic.
That's the message Jay Sizemore has for the St. Cloud City Council as they consider approving 2 new subdivisions.
It's too much. It's too much. We don't have the infrastructure. The traffic's insane. It's just getting out of control.
One would go here on Old Hickory Tree Road by Gramercy Farms Boulevard, building 54 houses. The other one would be south of Chisholm Park, right here off Narcoossee Road, turning over 25 acres into 69 single-family homes, adding to an already congested area. Narcoossee traffic now tops 58,000 cars a day, and it was only built for a capacity of 55,000.
I live probably 9 miles from work, and I need probably 45 minutes because it's, in the morning, rush hour, school buses, and it's got out of hand.
St. Cloud will vote on these subdivisions just a few weeks after Osceola County approved building 289 new homes near Narcoossee and the Orange County line. Sizemore thinks the development is only going to increase, and when it does, it will lead him elsewhere.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop for a lot of people, including myself. I'm a little bit older, so I'm getting close to retirement. When I retire, I'll probably leave.
The St. Cloud City Council will vote on the preliminary plans for those 2 subdivisions during its meeting tonight at 6:30. I'm your Osceola County community correspondent, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Well, with our chilly forecast, Florida's gentle giants are making an early seasonal return to a local state park. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the hundreds of manatees making their way to Blue Spring State Park. Candace.
And we're all going to be able to start warming up just like those manatees. This morning we started off at 45 degrees. We are warming back into those low 80s. Pretty soon we'll have the full forecast. A look, sneak peek of your weekend forecast in minutes.
Taking a live look from our camera in downtown Mount Dora. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back.
Introducing the new $25 million Gold Rush Multiplier Scratch-Off from the Florida Lottery.
Well, when the temperature drops in Central Florida, there is a migration to Blue Springs State Park in DeLand. Isn't it glorious right here? Every year around this time, manatees head toward the warm waters of the springs. News 6's Paul Giorgio shows us how visitors are hoping to catch a glimpse of the spectacle.
It's so beautiful. It's very peaceful. It's very therapeutic.
I'm glad we came here first time here. That's pretty cool.
They keep coming over here and be in the sun, which is so cool.
It's definitely a great day to see these.
There's almost 200 in here. So they counted 194 manatee in the spring this morning.
I came out here to see the manatees. Oh, I was always told that it's a good time to come to the springs when it's cold to see manatees, because when the water's cold in the St. John River, they come to the springs because the springs stay 72 degrees year round.
So the manatee come in every year about mid-November. The reason they're in a little bit early this year is because they are really cold. The cold front really pushed them in.
There's quite a bunch over there by the tree. I think I see a little manatee nose there. Yeah, a little manatee nose. You'll see them like puff up when they come up for air. It's really cute.
It's crazy to me to see them this early though. My name's Brittany Murdoch. So I'm a manatee observer and I'm a volunteer. When somebody wants to hear it, I love to talk about manatees or anything nature related. Well, right now, oh my gosh, we've got the baby that was born 10 days ago with her.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm
She's,
not sorry.
Did you see her come up?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, so was born 10 days ago to our biggest manatee, Annie. Yes.
Wow.
So the 10-day-old baby
Yeah, I heard there's
is
one.
right here.
Look over there. Look at that.
Oh, she's putting on a show for you guys.
Or you see them on TV or on a show or something like that, but nothing, I mean, here in their own habitat.
When the manatees migrate, the people all come. Yeah.
Great piece there from Paul Giorgio. Always a lot of fun at Blue Springs State Park and some beautiful weather to boot. Look at this live look from the Launch Credit Union Port Cam at Port Canaveral. Just really, really a nice day. We've warmed up from this morning. I think the manatees will still be there, and the manatee hot tub is what I call it. But yeah. Candace, we're going to gradually continue to warm up. Those overnight lows will get a little higher as well, which as Floridians, I'm excited
We're ready
about.
for it.
We're
Yeah,
ready.
I know.
Yeah.
Anytime the cold snap takes more than 2-3 days to get out of here, everyone's kind of like, all right, I've gone through all my sweaters.
Overstayed the welcome.
Let's go. All right, let's talk about the weather forecast for the next couple of days throughout at least the work week. Thursday, Friday, Justin, we are going to be back to near normal, back into those mid to low 70s. Still tons of sunshine, as you obviously saw there. Our Launch Credit Union camera, just a picture-perfect start to the day. Our breeze is going to kick up every once in a while, upwards about 10 to 15 miles per hour. But then as we head into your weekend, those temperatures are really going to start ramping back up above average. We are seeing the return of the 80s on Saturday, and that, my friends, is where we're going to stay, not only for the weekend, but into most of next week. So if you like the warmer weather, I promise you're going to like this weekend. Speaking of the weekend, if you're maybe hoping to be like a manatee and trying to find those kind of warm spots, you want to thaw out a little bit, beach and boating conditions are starting to improve, and that will continue to be the case for your weekend as well. Temperatures out the door right now. If you're in those areas, we're looking dry, we're looking sunny. Don't forget the sunglasses, though. The sunshine is really out there. 75 degrees currently there in the Villages. We're at 72 in Daytona. Same in Cocoa Beach. 71 degrees from Kissimmee, Orlando, and Stanford. Nice little stretch right there along I-4. As we look here at the clouds and rain futurecast, there's not a lot of clouds. There's not a lot of rain. We are going to continue to keep things pretty steady and stable. We have a big ridge of high pressure out over the Gulf, and that's going to really continue to bring in the winds out of the north. That's going to keep the conditions nice and comfortable, so the humidity really won't start cranking up until later on this weekend and into early next week as those temperatures return to those 80s. So if you want to be outside and enjoy the weather, this is really going to be kind of the best kind of weather. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
Your highs today will be back into those low 70s again. Nothing but sunshine and nice clear skies as the breeze again continues to kick up between about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then later on tonight, it won't be as cold as it was this morning and nowhere near as cold as how we started the work week, but we are going to be in the upper 40s across our northwestern zones along I-4, low 50s, and closing in already on the 60s there along the southern Brevard County coast. Speaking of the beach forecast, temperatures today are going to be back into those low 70s. You can see the risk of rip current still kind of in that moderate range. So even though it's not high and the red flags aren't flying, I'd still certainly urge you, if you are going to venture out in those chilly waters, to make sure to always swim near a staffed lifeguard tower. All right, let's talk about some more good news. The end is almost near here for the end of hurricane season. 17 days away. November 30th, that is the official last day of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. And as of right now, no new development is expected. We've been watching a lot of big time cold fronts that have been bringing us the cold air. And that's really starting to stabilize a lot of the kind of the hot zones that we tend to see development at the end of the season. So that normally is around the eastern seaboard, the far western Caribbean, the Gulf. So everything is really stable. It doesn't look like much is going to be developing, which is not a complaint whatsoever. We'd love to wrap up the season, right? As your results here with your full 7-day forecast, you can see a lot of sunshine will continue. We'll stay mostly dry. And there it is. The 80s start up this weekend and will continue through most of next week. Justin.
Looking really nice. All right, Candace, thank you. One of the largest financial institutions has found a quarter of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, coming up the shocking percentage of how much income goes to necessities. And coming up on News 6 at 6.
I'm News 6 investigator Louis Bolden, and a Apopka couple is out of tens of thousands of dollars after a roofing company cashed their insurance check but never replaced their roof.
Do you want your money back, or do you want him to repair your roof?
At this point, I don't trust him to do the job, so I want my money back at this point, so I can look for another roofing company to do the job.
We'll have the story tonight at 6 on News 6.
Before we head to break, here's a live look at downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. You're watching News 6 at noon. Keep it here. We'll be right back. 1 in 4 U.S. households is living paycheck to paycheck and just struggling to get by. That's according to a Bank of America Institute analysis. So researchers combed through internal data on its millions of consumers and tracked how much they spent on just basic necessities like groceries, housing, childcare. And they found that about a quarter of households spend more than 95% of their income on those necessities, leaving little to nothing left over to save. The Bank of America report is evidence of the K-shaped economy. That's where affluent Americans are faring far better than those at the bottom. Check out our all-new primetime lineup on News 6 tonight. Matt and Ginger have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9 o'clock. Go in-depth as we track the latest weather developments and then answer all of those weather-related questions with meteorologist Jonathan Kekis at 9:30, and then watch the late news an hour earlier. It's all tonight on News 6 Plus. Download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. Taking a live look before we go to break, this one from the Port Canaveral camera, the Launch Credit Union Port Cam. You're watching News 6 at noon. We're back in 3 minutes.
All right, as we take you here throughout the next couple of days, you can see the temperatures are going to be warming up for both highs and lows. We're going to be back into those upper 70s. That's right where we should be for this time of the year on Friday. Overnight lows will be going from the 40s like they started off this morning into the 60s by the time we head into early next week. So the Florida thaw will certainly kick off later on today and will continue Saturday and Sunday. It looks like we'll be back into those 80s. As of now, looking kind of downrange already. People, it's the middle of November. People are wondering, how are we shaping up for Thanksgiving? It looks like it might be kind of an above average. No big time extremes, but don't think that you're going to be wearing your turkey sweater.
You can put them away for now.
Yeah, for
now. All right. Thank you, Candace.
Sure.
Thank you for joining us. Switch over to News 6 Plus streaming app or click Orlando.com to watch News 6 Extra. Have a great day. Enjoy this weather.